I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to Smack It Raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the number one wrestling podcast, formerly on Pornhub. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the word Matt Ritter, and I'm here with my co-hosts this evening. She is host of the She Lead Showcase, Inside the Mind of, In the Crowd, and Storytime with Ms. Katie Kinsey Bay.
Hi.
And here, back again from the Down for the Count podcast. Also currently killing it on TikTok. If you're not following her, please go check her out over there. It's Tiffany.
Hi.
So we decided last year that every Halloween Havoc review we were going to call Swalloween Havoc, and we were going to follow the Halloween movie template as our theme. So we have Swalloween Havoc was night 1, Swalloween Havoc 2 was night 2 last year, and now this is Swalloween Havoc night 3, Season of the Switch, which actually worked because this is the first year we've switched from a TV special to a PLE. So like they're just making it easy on me. And we delayed everything, including your live, so that we could do this after Halloween Havoc, so we could cover it and actually call it that. So I do appreciate you helping me out there, Tiffany.
Oh, no problem.
But before we do that, we have other stuff to talk about. Most importantly, because Travis will get mad at me if I don't do it, where you can watch us, youtube.com/Creation World, where it is free to like, to subscribe, and to comment. Katie, what does that do?
It boosts the algorithm and helps find new listeners.
That is correct. And why is that important, Katie?
Because you're a whore.
That is also correct, ladies and gentlemen. I am a whore. For your likes, for your comments, for your attention. That is why I do this. That is why we are here. So treat me like the whore that I am and give me all the attention that I need. And while you're doing that, there's this thing. You might call it a notification bell. We call it the bean, and I need you to flick that bean. Hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live, whether it is every Thursday, except for this Thursday. For the Creation Conversation at 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Also, Getting Off, which will be live 9 p.m. on Halloween this Thursday, where Katie and I are breaking down a draft that was done by a Facebook group that I'm a part of for their horror movies, as well as talking about Long Legs, because it's finally shit Katie made Matt watch
Finally
for Halloween. So come join us for that. And every Saturday, except for tonight, because PLE and special stuff, for Smackin It Raw, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. You guys can also check us out at twitch.tv/Creation World, where if you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming. If you have that and you link it to your Twitch account, you get a free sub every month that you can give to your favorite Twitch streamer. I'm not saying it should be me, but I am a whore, so it should probably be me. But if it's not me, it could be Katie, it could be our friend Will Gray and everyone over at Rivet City Radio, or any of your favorite Twitch streamers. It costs you absolutely nothing. You're already paying for Amazon Prime, so don't let that sub go to waste, because supporting your favorite content creators helps them to continue to create the content that you love, and that's why we do this, and that's what is important to us. All right, everything's plugged, including myself. Katie, news and rumors.
So like I didn't get a lot because a lot of things were title changes, and I do that in news and rumors for my own show. It was mentioned a lot on Halloween Havoc tonight. NXT is going to the 2300 Arena in Philly in 2 weeks. It will be a Wednesday show, so that'll be interesting. But I don't know why Tuesday was not available. But Election Day is the 5th, so they moved to the 6th. I think that's why.
Is that why Ava kept saying Wednesday for Tatum's match, even though it was Tuesday, and they had to correct her on commentary?
Yeah, it's November 6th, which is a Wednesday. Yeah, but I mean, they're planting seeds on what's going to happen. Some things I'm happy with, other things I'm not happy about. But
we will get there. We will get there. I guarantee I know what you're not happy about.
And then the biggest thing probably that has happened and has caused an uproar, because when is Twitter not in a fucking uproar? Samantha Irvine said, "Peace out, WWE. I'm out. See you later. I want to go focus on music and other things." And in that same vein, we got Lillian Garcia back as the ring announcer from Monday Night Raw. For me, it was bittersweet because I grew up on Lillian. I loved Samantha, and I got Lillian back, but in a weird way. And now Samantha's just popping off on people on every platform possible, and I love that for her. Because now she's not under anything. She can just clap back.
What up, Joes?
So, yeah, people aren't happy because, they're blaming, quote, the bald man, as everyone kept deeming Ricochet, for her leaving. And she said that's not why. She wasn't happy being a ring announcer anymore. So.
And why would she be? Because all you did in the IWC was give this woman hell for doing her fucking job. Oh, she shows too much emotion. It takes me out of it. Why does she have to act like why can't you just let her enjoy her job and do her job? Because as I always say, this is not UFC. This is not the NFL. This is not the NBA. This is a fucking TV show. So yes, your ring announcers can be a little extra. Your referees can be extra because they are all characters and part of the fucking show. They are not background characters. They are not props. They are on-screen talent. So her crying when announcing Cody Rhodes winning that title, or her reacting to all the cool spots that we get to see on Twitter and backstage from WWE, her reactions, you can enjoy those and not be a prick about it and expect her to sit there like a fucking robot and pretend like she's not enjoying the same show you should be enjoying. But from me judging by you on Twitter, you guys don't enjoy the fucking show. You just want to bitch about shit, including her. She wanted to use ring announcing, as she said, to transition into managing or maybe a general manager role, and they didn't see that for her. Probably because you guys all reacted so goddamn negatively to any bit of personality that she showed ringside. Why would they want to make her an on-screen talent when you guys are always bitching about her acting like an on-screen talent? They do not shower, I guarantee.
Preach, says Tim. Hi, Tim.
Samantha, we love you. I hope all the success in everything that you do outside of WWE. And should you find your way back, I hope it is in a role that makes you happy and something that you want to do.
Yep.
What's up, Tiff?
I mean, fair. People understand that most people are not a monolith. Most people are multifaceted. They have other aspirations besides the ones that they happen to be involved in career-wise, or even in, things where you make up your hobby and you make your hobby into a career. Sometimes you want to pivot. Samantha wanted more. WWE didn't want to give it to her. So she's like, okay, well, I think I've hit my ceiling here. I'm going to go ahead and leave and do something that I actually enjoy doing. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you actually enjoy doing it. So while Samantha was an amazing announcer, and I actually really enjoyed her as an announcer, I liked her genuine reactions to everything. It added some fun to her announcing. Like, she gave Chelsea a whole moniker. Like, everybody recognizes that because of her. And she gave certain people personality due to how she perceived them. So now you're mad because she's leaving, but you didn't want her to be there in the beginning. You were upset. You were in your feelings. So you got mad. Y'all went on TikTok. You went on Twitter. I don't like my announcers crying. You said all this. Now she's leaving and you're in your feelings. The way I see it is She's not on there going off and being angry. She's just telling the truth. She's just like, listen, I didn't like announcing. I wanted to do more. WWE said, well, we like you being an announcer. And she said, okay, well, I think I'm done here. If I want to come back, Triple H is always one. He doesn't burn many bridges like Vince used to. So if you want to come back, he'll take you back. She always will have a place. And I mean, Lillian's there. So obviously you can come back after time. I mean, it's really not that deep. People are going to leave. They're going to come back. They're going to want to spread their wings. I mean, Cody did it. Cody left, came back. Everybody was excited. I mean, 1 in a million years, nobody ever thought that CM Punk was ever going to come back to the WWE. And he's there. He's flourishing. So let her do what she wants to do. Let her do what she wants to do. I'm just glad that she's happy.
She left on good terms. Bret Hart left after punching Vince McMahon in the face, and he still showed the fuck back up. So
exactly. It's really not that serious. Obviously they found somebody who can at least be just as good, if not better. So you're fine. You'll be fine.
All right. Katie, do you have anything else?
No, go. I'm not even in the mood for this. Here you go.
Well, here's the deal. I haven't been able to podcast for 2 weeks, so I haven't been able to talk about this, but it's something that's actually very important to me because as you guys know, if you guys have been listening to this podcast over the last 7 years, The Undertaker was the reason why I started watching wrestling. And I have said on Twitter and other places, I have been able to, for the most part, suspend my disbelief around the t-shirts that he wears because his brother is in law enforcement, things like that, and kind of pretend that as long as he didn't say it out loud with his whole chest on his fucking platform, that he wasn't who I had a feeling he was. And then he invited Donald Trump onto his podcast. And I have made no qualms about how I feel about Chris Jericho. I have made no qualms about how I feel about Glenn Jacobs due to the things that they say and they support. And here's the thing. I love pro wrestling. Yes, The Undertaker is the reason why I got into pro wrestling. You know what I love more than pro wrestling? My mother, my wife, my daughter that is on the way in March, far more than I will ever love wrestling or the man that got me into pro wrestling. So when that man supports a candidate that puts their rights and their health and their well-being at risk, it's fuck The Undertaker. It is what it is. Mark, appreciate all the years and all the enjoyment, but I don't need to see you anymore. I'm good. Just like Kane, just like Jericho, I'm good. You could have not had him on your podcast. You could have not endorsed him. You could still vote however the fuck you want. Like, that's not a me issue, right? That is a you issue, and that is a Texas issue, and that is your own thing. When you endorse this man and you put this man on your platform, you give this man your platform to speak his bullshit and for all of the people that listen to your podcast to hear and for him to infect, that's where I have an issue. That's my problem. It's not about where your political alliances lie. That's your own personal shit. It is now you giving this man a platform to spew his bullshit to wrestling fans and try and sway them. And so fuck The Undertaker. I never thought I'd say that.
Nah, it's big fuck Undertaker energy. I have friends who don't even like wrestling telling me about it.
I'm sad that somebody that you watched and you enjoyed and got you into wrestling is basically letting you down. I'm sad that you're disappointed because of that. However, I'm not surprised.
It was no secret, but like I said, it's the endorsement. It's the putting him on the podcast more so than me just trying to pretend like I didn't know that. Listen, he hung out with Vince. He hung out with Glenn. Like, those are his two best friends. Like, it's no secret where the fuck it wasn't a shock that he was a Republican. That wasn't the issue. It was that you used your platform, which I enjoyed, hearing stories and all the bullshit and stuff that you were doing to give that man a space to speak, and then said, the choice is easy. You're right. The choice is easy, and we roll with Dave. We rock with
Dave.
So you made it very easy. Thank you.
I'm gonna say something. It's gonna sound really, really effed up, but most wrestlers are weird, and it seems like a lot of them align with the same ideals. And I'd rather not know about that. If I'm being honest, I'd rather not know. I'd rather stay in the zone of me not knowing who you are personally, not wanting to know what you're doing. I don't want to know any of those things because it'll affect how I see you when I watch you on television. I'm the type where I can separate church and state. I can still cuss you out as a heel on TV and then hate your guts behind the scenes if necessary. But honestly, I would rather just see you as the character and then move forward from there. I just don't. I don't want to know anything else because this type of stuff happens too much for me. It's happening way too often. And there's a lot of wrestlers who support Donald Trump. A lot of them are smart enough to keep their mouths shut and not blast it all over the internet for everyone to see, which is very smart. Protects your brand. Okay. But some of them are openly a little psychotic.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what you want to do, that's your business. But just know that I'm going to be on your ass every chance I get. I'm going to do it because I can. So I'd rather not know. I'd rather be in the dark about what you care about. If you want to vote for Donald Trump, that's your business. I don't have any issues with you voting how you want to vote. That is your private business, in my opinion. That's our right as Americans to be able to vote how we want. I don't care. What I care about is when you try to blast the rhetoric as if his rhetoric actually makes sense, that it actually doesn't harm half of the nation, if not more than that. If it, like, his rhetoric isn't completely batshit bonkers, it just really, it's very, very sad. And I'm like, a lot of y'all, you just don't understand how this works. You're asking ignorant questions. You're saying ignorant things. You just re-spewing what he's saying. And it's just like, none of you paid attention in ninth grade government at all. Nobody focused. Nobody said, maybe I should learn how this works. You have no idea. There are literal graphs that tells you how each government works, each part of the government works. And you're still like, yeah, well, that's not how it works for me. And it's just getting to the point where you're tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of having the arguments. I'm tired of arguing with ignorance. I'm tired of fighting. But me being who I am, I don't even have the option of being tired. I don't have that option. I have to go. I have to make sure that I vote. Me and my husband just voted yesterday. We went and voted early. Okay? We would have got our stuff put in early. We have to vote. We don't have a choice. Our livelihoods are at stake. Especially women. So somebody like the Undertaker and like Glenn Jacobs, he's been showing who he was. So whatever. Unfortunately, for some people who voted him in and trusted him, they now have to deal with that. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, I'm just like, God willing, the entire nation doesn't listen to the Undertaker. You're on your podcast, and you're like, oh, you made politics fun again, and it's like, politics aren't supposed to be fun. Politics are politics. Sometimes they are not necessarily done correctly, but politics are supposed to help us. Politicians are supposed to be there to make sure they execute what the people want. That is the bottom line. It's not meant to be fun. It's work. Work isn't supposed to be fun. So if you're worried about having fun, then you need to be just watching reality TV and leave it at that.
Or you should be watching our show, because while politics aren't fun, this podcast is. Above the Fallen, you should probably scratch that. And it is time to get into our weekly wrestling review. Now, Tiffany, it's been a while since you've been here, so we've switched the format up a little bit, kind of gone back to something we used to do. So I'm basically going to run down the things that I enjoyed from each show in my own special, unique way. And then I'll ask you guys if you spit or swallow what I talked about. And then at the end, I'll ask you if there's anything that wasn't good enough for me that you guys enjoyed that you want to talk about before we move on to the next show. We'll do Raw, NXT, Dynamite, SmackDown, and then we will smash or pass Halloween Havoc to close out the show. I apologize ahead of time for the things I'm about to say. So, Monday Night Raw, we kick off the show with Seth pegging Thick Boy Taz backstage and then marching to the ring demanding more. Adam tries to stop it, but Thick Boy Taz is tossing off security until they can get at each other to brawl. They get separated. Bronson tosses off more security before missing the splash through the table. And then even after this, they can't keep their hands off each other, so Adam Pearce makes the match for Crown Jewel. Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, spit or swallow.
I'll
Bye,
swallow.
Yeah. Big swallow. Seth, Mr. Freakin'.
Yeah.
Thick Boy Taz.
Right.
Thick Boy Taz. So Scarlett hung out ringside. There may have been a tag match. The Miz might have shown up. Not really sure, but Scarlett was definitely there.
You're stupid.
R-Truth showed up and hit two guys, Miz and Cross. And then I think the New Day defeated AOP. I think that's what happened.
They did.
Okay. But Scarlett was there, and that I remember.
There was also like a post-match attack by like a
Yeah,
group.
I said Truth showed up and hit the guys. Miz
No,
and
not Truth. Well, Truth was there.
Truth did
but-
show up, yeah.
No, like Wide Six, maybe.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
you're
well,
forgetting
I
the
wasn't done. The Wood stops Kofi from saving Truth from getting gangbanged by the Final Testament. The Wide Six turn the gangbang into an orgy, and Uncle Howdy goes for Miz, but Ellering makes the sacrifice to deep throat Howdy's fingers.
I hate you.
If you did, you wouldn't show up every week.
If I didn't show up, you wouldn't have a show.
That's not true. I could do this by myself. It would be
You
terrible,
have
but I could
told
do
me
it.
repeatedly you will never do a show by yourself. Lie to me
No, I've
again.
told you
in front
Travis
of people.
won't let me do a show by myself.
You told me you will not do a show by yourself. You don't like talking to yourself.
Tiffany's here.
It's okay. She doesn't care. We can fight.
Neither here nor there.
Definitely don't.
New Day defeating AOP. Woods not letting Kofi save R-Truth. Then the ensuing gangbang that turned into an orgy, and Ellering saving Miz. Spit or swallow.
I'll swallow. I liked it. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I like that it's like the Wyatt Six are finally going after like someone else instead of American Made. And Miz has a history with this shit. So protect the kids, protect Maurice. You don't fucking know show up at the house. No, I like it. And Woods is just sick of Kofi's shit. As he should be.
But what did Truth do? Like, we can't save R-Truth?
No, because Woods didn't want to get his ass beat up again.
I don't know if I agree with that part.
I'm just saying.
I like the Wyatt Six going after Final Testament because that's an even kill fight for them. And it involves Scarlett. It makes everything even across the board, which I love that for them. I knew they were going after them by how they set up those QR codes and everything. It was always around when Karrion and Miz were in the same vicinities when those codes would come up. Mm-hmm. When it comes to Woods and Kofi, Xavier got a complex. So I'm not mad at Xavier for picking himself, but Xavier is also spinning reality for a little bit this was not a situation where R-Truth cost them an opportunity. That would be different. This also wasn't an opportunity. This also wouldn't have happened without R-Truth. So they won their match because of his interference. Then he's in there, he's getting beat up, and instead of them at least helping, he's like, no, we're gonna leave it to him. He knows what's up. That's a little messed up. Like, this man came out here to help y'all. Not only were the Final Testament utilizing everything in their arsenal to take y'all out, but he came out there and ran enough interference for them to win.
Now, I will say, given R-Truth's history, we are not 100% sure he knew who was even wrestling in that match or who he was helping.
Crazy work.
I'm just...
It's crazy work. That's crazy.
I can't even, like, rebuttal.
I'm like, okay. No, because you can't think about what his intent was. You got to think about what it is. In the grand scheme of things, he helped. He didn't hinder
help.
the match. He didn't cost them anything. So in fairness to him, why are you okay with watching him get beat down after he helped you out?
All I'm saying is I have seen him try and join the Judgment Day despite them not wanting him. For all I knew, he was trying to help the Final Testament and didn't.
So we don't
know where he was at. I'm just saying. If he comes out with a TF shirt,
Awesome Truth again,
he could be doing that too. All right, Liv and Raquel crash Damage Control's interview. So we get a tag match as Metaphor watches ringside, but they can't help but touch a body. Match ends in DQ. Liv and Raquel try. Why can I not say Raquel?
Raquel?
Liv and Raquel try to go face to face, but Rhea still wants to finish Liv. And what does that fucking say?
You took your own notes,
Did you
bro.
write it?
Listen,
He writes it in his phone.
And then it autocorrects some shit. So it says that's Grace proceeds to do so. That doesn't make sense. But Dom and Raquel save Liv. So Rhea, Raquel.
Say it with me, folks. Raquel.
Spanish Rachel.
Raquel.
Spanish Rachel. There we
Rachel.
go. All right.
Spanish
So Dom, a.k.a. Freddie Guerrero, and Spanish Rachel save Liv.
Spanish Rachel's hysterical. Don't worry about it. Hi, Allison. Hi, Will.
Katie's going to hate the next one. So Spit or Swallow, Liv, Freddie Guerrero, Spanish Rachel, Metaphor, ringside.
Metaphor? Listen, I'm all about the women's tag division right now. At least they're actually doing something. And we have a very diverse group of ladies up in here. I'm all about it. And, I mean, Metaphor, specifically Lash and Chikara, getting called up?
I want to say soon. If they aren't, they should be.
It's in that weird period where they're showing up on main roster stuff, but they haven't really been showing up in NXT. Maybe after Crown Jewel.
Maybe. I think both of them will probably be in the Rumble.
Yes.
Right now, you need them. They need to fill the boxes, so they're probably going to end up in the Rumble. I like it. I'll swallow it. I think it was great. Only thing I hated was Liv and Spanish Rachel interrupting EO and them. I just thought that was hella rude. And just
listen,
I didn't really have much to say.
Dubbing Dominic Mysterio Freddie Guerrero may be the greatest thing I've ever done in this podcast.
That's pretty good.
I'm just saying, Tiffany said Spanish Rachel, and that's probably one of the top things in the world.
You know why? It's one of my friends, Don, he used to call her Spanish Rachel, and it stuck out in my head, and I was like, yeah, that's gonna be her name from now on. And I started calling her that. I started calling her that in my videos. Yeah, but I have to give credit where credit is due. Don gave me that one, so shout out to Don because he was calling her that, and it took me out. But it's a good one. It was good.
It is a good one.
Hi, Jax Bo. That's a conversation for a post show. That's not a on-air conversation about licking me from the back. So we'll talk about that later.
Before we move on, I didn't get to talk about Spanish Rachel, Liv, and Rhea.
Men hit on me a lot, Tiffany. It's a thing.
Oh, it's literally everybody. It's ridiculous. I had a conversation with Jalen about this on Twitter because they were talking about potentially like having a Rhea versus Dom match, like actually doing it. This would have been better when he originally like turned on her. Now the title is still involved, and that shouldn't be happening. And like this is coming from someone who absolutely loves Rhea. She's right there. She's just chilling. Like, I love Rhea. I can't stand Liv. Her stupid laugh. Her just like in general. What? Spanish Rachel like
trash. We don't like street trash.
No, I don't like street trash. I don't like Spanish Rachel.
I concur.
I'm happy Spanish Rachel is 100% healthy. That is completely different.
Yeah.
I have said that on numerous occasions. I'm very happy she's good. But her character-wise, garbage. Boo. Trash. Not street trash, it's trash. Everything about this is stupid. I want the title off of Liv for good. But it's fine.
I wouldn't have an issue with Raquel if she wasn't an enforcer for Liv Morgan.
Because that's all she does. That's all she is.
I could understand it better if they were just working together and they had a common goal. But for you to want to willingly be her sidekick, that's crazy. Also,
why the fuck does Liv need 2 muscle?
Because she's Liv Morgan.
You have Freddie Guerrero, who's nothing, and then you got Spanish Rachel. That's a hell of a duo. I'm not sure you should agree with that.
I mean, if we're being honest, if I were Liv, I would surround myself with as much as possible because she knows at any given moment, kayfabe-wise, that Rhea could take that title from her. So it's smart, if I'm being honest. But I don't like Liv Morgan either. I'm not the biggest fan of her. I've called her some dastardly names. Only because it's the vibe she gives off. Her and Dominic together, they just remind me of a meth head couple, and I just can't get that out my head. And I've called her Meth Liv, and he just looked like he be going through it with her. Like he is on the last leg of his drug abuse, and it's very, very apparent. I'm like, Jesus Christ, y'all are coming out here sweaty. Liv look like she ain't slept in days. Oh my God. You gotta go to sleep. You gotta stop. You gotta stop the heroin. You gotta stop doing that. You gotta let it rest just for 5 minutes. And then come out. That's why she laughs so much. I'm
with her weird ass cackle.
Yeah. It's the drugs.
Okay. So Katie, I'm glad you're laughing now because you're not about to be. I apologize ahead of time.
I'm already mad.
Magomed tries to deport the LWO, but fails as Dragon Ball Lee and Ray top the Creeds.
Don't do that.
Dragon Ball Lee is wild. That's wild.
You can go to hell with Magomed. American Gladiators, excuse you.
Magomed is nuts. But I ain't gonna lie. I was calling him the MAGA Kingdom too. So I don't it's just the flag and the way they've been operating. It gives very much MAGA cult. I'm sorry.
I just wanted so many good things for Chad Gable. What happened? How did he get here?
He started tanning, and the tanning solution went into his brain, kind of like Brian Breaker.
I was gonna say him and Braun must go to the same place.
They real
Spit or swallow the failed deportation of the LWO.
Stop it.
I'm gonna for Dragon Lee's sake, I'll swallow for his sake. But I have to agree with Katie. I would rather have American Made win it. They're the better tag team in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, because like Creeds versus War Raiders in the end, like that's what I want to see. But
That's
all right.
What we're saying.
No, it's because Rey Mysterio will continue to wrestle in anything he can. Which I get it. I respect it. I respect Rey Mysterio way more than Chris Jericho's bitch ass.
I don't respect it.
I will say, in Rey's case, at least he's not like, there's a word I was gonna say. He's not like positioning himself to win a title every week. Chris Jericho, like,
fair. You're right. You're right.
Like, Rey's just out there going to have a great time.
You're right.
And at least he can actually still wrestle. Chris Jericho can't.
Well, I haven't seen Jericho wrestle in a while, so that I have.
No you don't want to.
But I'm sure Dr. Zorberg is thinking up the joint as he always does.
Oh, we're gonna talk about him, but before we get to him, one last thing from me on Raw, and then I'll open up to you guys in case there's anything I missed. Jey Uso defends his title against the Breaker of Worlds. Solo and Jacob show up, and as Solo is trying to seduce his older brother, he catches a spear. Tonga and Tama are down there. Security gets discriminatory and kicks them out. Braun gets his belt back after Jey had to fight off the World.
This was not the correct move. I am going to spit this because this could have been done differently, where Jey Uso didn't have to sacrifice the championship to do it. And while Braun Breaker is great at what he does, you had probably one of the most over people with a workhorse championship, and you could have booked that accordingly. Now, I understand this was all done to push him back to the bloodline, but again, this could have been done differently. You could have used them. You already had them coming. Like, we knew once he showed up Friday that they were going to show up Monday. That was obvious, right? But instead of going that route, you should have had Roman and Jimmy show up Monday and stop it. And then Jey Uso shows up Friday. Then it would make sense, because there was no, how can I put it? There was no piece in between to kind of give us a reason for Jey to forgive his brother. He'd already told him, I don't want you to be here. I don't want you around me. Like, go about your business. That was the last thing he said verbally to his brother on TV. Then he shows up Friday and he's like trying to reason with Solo. He low-key talked to his brother, but there was no real interaction to show us that they got to a point where, okay, they cool again. We didn't see that on camera. Now we get to this. Monday shows up. Jey Uso loses his title. His cousin, his brother, and his cousin, nowhere to be found. Show up Friday during the Motor City Machine Guns match, which, shout out to them, they were able to win. I know he's going to get to that, but they were able to win. It was a rickety way to do it. You cost him a real title shot. You had a championship. This was his first one. And I'm sorry, but I feel like they made a mistake. This was not the right move.
But like the romance novel cover that he is, Roman Reigns did look deep into Jey Uso's eyes and say, "I'm proud of you," which, from all of the spicy books that my wife has had me read, that melts your heart right away. From what I've read, it makes you quiver in your underwear like that. All of the big drop. That's what I read. That's what all of the stuff on Book Talk tells me is. A man like Roman Reigns looking you in the eye and saying, "I'm proud of you," just melts away all your inhibitions and all your...
That ain't what I read in the spicy books that I was reading. I didn't read that. That ain't... You got to get
to the point, though, where the "I'm proud of you" matters. Like, they got to be really mean to you first before you get there.
Well,
hell no. That don't sound right to me. That sounds... don't...
I feel like we're going down different paths here.
Mm-hmm. I don't like it.
Katie, spit or swallow?
It's a gargle, because I just want to know what Rikishi has to say about all of this, because I can't fucking wait. Because he's gonna be mad. He was talking all this shit and he wanted Jey to be put up in that position. I agree. Jay has been one of the most over people for a long time. He could have been the one to take the title off of Roman at one point, and they chose not to. Like he had all of these opportunities and everything like that. I mean, I do like we bark for Braun, just because it's fun. But there definitely could have been. I agree with Tiffany. Like, there definitely could have been a way to like do this where Jay didn't have to lose it after only holding the title for like 28 days. Someone said this man is the month of February because he only got the title for 28 days. I said that's disrespectful. But I mean, it was a hell of a fucking match, though. Like, I'm never gonna deny it. Shenanigans aside, the two were fantastic together. But it's just it could have. It was expected, but we could have done something better.
It sucked.
All right. Anything from Raw that I didn't talk about that wasn't good enough for Ritter?
Nope, I don't have anything else.
All right, let's get into NXT. It's girl and girl on girl and girl as the Sky Pirates are riding metaphor hard, but Lash wasn't going to let that slide and showed her inner Dom. Piper and Chelsea, who are always down for a menage a trois, cause a DQ and take out both teams, setting up this female tag team division tag team match, fatal 4-way that we got announced.
Always a swallow. Women. Hell yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Miss Parker caught Tatum Paxley in her web and rolled her up like a 5-course meal. Lola wanted a piece of Jada, but security made sure there was room for the Holy Ghost. Meanwhile, Spooky Chew big spoon Tatum into an equipment case, and I am pretty sure that's kidnapping.
No, you said it was something else on Twitter. You said it wasn't kidnapping. It was something. I don't know. Hold on. You responded to my tweet. Let me look. Because you said something else. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure that's kidnapping.
No, you said something else though. Like, it is kidnapping, 100%. Like, that's what it is. But like, you said something else to my tweet. I distinctly remember this. God damn it! I tweet too much.
Well, while Katie looks that up, Tiffany, Miss Parker, Tatum Paxley, Lola Vice, Room for the Holy Ghost, Spooky Chew, Kidnapping, Spit or Swallow.
I'm gonna swallow. I liked all of that. I love Jada Parker. I love her. I do wish Lola would have been able to get her hands on Jada, just a tit for tat situation. But overall, I would say it was fine. It was a good thing for Jada to get that W. It was cool. I didn't understand what was going on with Wendy. I knew she was going after Tatum, but her putting her inside of that case was interesting.
Disrespectful.
It was interesting. I was like, God damn, what is going on? So I liked it. It was unexpected, so I liked it.
Well, let's take this moment to knock a couple of things that we found out tonight out of our review later. We found out as Tatum Paxley emerged from the box and talked to Ava, who's like, hey, you can have your match on Wednesday, but she meant Tuesday. Tatum's like, no, let's make this fun. And she spun the wheel, and now it's a casket match on Tuesday, and I'm excited for that. We also found out that in 2 weeks, on Wednesday, it is going to be a hardcore match between Lola and Jada with Dawn Marie as the special guest referee, because ECW. And part of me is like, why not Francine? But, because like Francine or even Beulah McGillicuddy, who actually wrestled a man in ECW and had a match and did. Dawn, listen, there's a part of me as a 13 to 16-year-old boy back when Dawn Marie was here that has a special place inside my body for her, somewhere between my heart and my toes. So, like, I'm not mad about Dawn Marie coming back, but I feel like we could have found a better woman from ECW to referee this match.
Agreed. The casket match, I can't wait for, because I haven't seen one of those in years. I've been begging for a casket match, and I can't wait. I hope it's all that I want it to be. That's all I'm asking for.
It will be. Also, you called it Grand Theft Crazy.
Yes, Grand Theft Crazy. That is correct.
Which is also accurate.
Yes. Katie, spit or swallow?
Oh,
Grand
Bro.
Theft Crazy.
it's everything I've ever wanted. I love all of these women. Fuck yeah. Well,
Now, the next part, it was a little rough for me on Tuesday, but everything got better tonight. So, first and foremost, as an Italian from Chicago, my allegiances lie specifically with our current North American champion, the Don Tony D'Angelo, and I also love me some Rizzo. And Rizzo got jumped, supposedly, possibly, maybe by Thekita, who is working her devil white woman magic on all of the men in NXT that are big, beefy, and black. So that was a thing that happened. But Luca's taking on Oba. The Don's not out there. Poor Luca tried. He got Black Raw by Obafemi. That wasn't enough, though. He had to get a piece of Stacks, too. Tony comes down to make the save, ends up participating in some light BDSM with Oba demonstrating tables, ladders, and scares on Luca and Stacks. Well, Tony is handcuffed to the ring. And then, as I said, as Thekita's back there talking to a couple attractive gentlemen, Oba comes up and says, "Hey, I found your robe somewhere, maybe on his locker room floor," and dropped it back off to her and thanked her. So, yeah, that was the thing.
Devil white woman magic is crazy work. That's so wild. It's I am gonna say
we did not.
I don't think that she was the one.
who do you think did it?
I'm not sure. But I just feel like, you see, the only thing is Sean isn't like Triple H. And oftentimes he plants something and he will go in a completely different direction. So my mind is telling me that it's not Nikita. That is somebody else, but I'm not quite sure as to who exactly it is.
We'll find out Tuesday.
Right? Because she did say she was going to call that person out. I don't think it was Nikita, though.
I'm so intrigued.
Rizzo looked damn good tonight, too. Real quick.
Yeah.
So Jaxpo said he found out that they have a yellow cane, asked if we watched JCW Wrestling Show. We did not. I'm not a juggalo. I don't do juggalo championship wrestling. However, what I do love is, because we talked about Glenn earlier and his politics, that we've got now a yellow cane, a blue cane, a green cane, a red cane, and then I saw a white cane that they called cocaine.
Cocaine,
But
yep.
basically, we have rainbow cane, canes. For the conservative mayor of Knox County, we're getting like the rainbow canes, and I kind of love that. So
you say rainbow canes, I say gay cane.
Gay canes assemble.
Hella funny.
Canes assemble. Gay canes assemble.
All Ego and Trick Daddy put sugar on their tongues with a promo battle that had me yelling, "Let's go," because Trick Daddy songs. So.
Trick Daddy. Love it. Okay, at first when I watched it, I wasn't interested only because NXT had been rolling and there was a lot of action going on, and then it kind of slowed down with them. They were going back and forth sparring, right? So when I had to rewatch it so I can really watch what Paige and Trick were saying. And it was cool. I didn't have a problem with it. I felt like it was a typical Paige moment, typical Trick Williams moment for both of them. But it was a good setup for what we saw tonight. So I was okay with it.
Oh yeah. Like they can both talk. Like, yeah, sure. Like let them have a little sit down, spit real quick, and leads to a fantastic match that we had. So I'm not gonna make mad at it.
Or they're gonna put out diss tracks on each other. And then
yeah, that's the thing that happened. Are we spitting or swallowing the diss tracks?
I like the diss tracks. I think they're hilarious. And I'm not even gonna lie, I think Ethan Page low-key ate on his. So
not just that, but also having Reverend Devon with Can I Get a Revolution in the background? Like,
right, that was fire. I liked it. I did. I enjoyed both of them. So I think it was dope.
Little Kirk Franklin.
Yes.
it should be illegal for Fatal Attraction, Cora, Roxanne, and Kalani to all look that damn good on the screen at the same time and expect me to pay attention to what the fuck they're saying. But
Fatal
they said
Influence.
things. Fatal Attraction. I said what I said.
Fatal Influence. I said what I said.
I said what I said. But they did have a backstage segment leading up to this main event.
Mm-hmm.
Spit or swallow?
The lead up or the actual match?
Well, we can talk about the match too. So Stephanie and Julia top Fatal Attraction with help from Kalani, and then Fatal Attraction spins the wheel and gets Spinner's Choice. But before they give us the match, Zarya is here, and the show cuts off. So we had to wait till tonight to find out that they decided that they weren't going to pick something that was on the wheel. Instead, they went for a gauntlet match, or as I said in my notes later, they were going to run a train on Kalani.
You're terrible.
I hated every moment of that.
Zarya popping up was cool. Because we didn't expect her until tonight at all. So her just randomly popping up on Tuesday, I was like, oh shit. And I didn't expect them to change her name, but I'm not mad at the name change. I feel like it still fits, it's still cool. It's not like Pete Dunne went to Butch. That's stupid. Delta to Zarya, I think that's an even playing field name wise. And then we got a cool ass main event. So who doesn't like a train?
Lot of women tonight. See, there you go, Allison. Speaking of the women, Ashanti, the Adonis, may have snatched Carmen's heart, or at least a part of her at some point. And she didn't like being called out by her friends. So then Soul snatched Carmen's soul and got the win while Ashanti was hanging out in the crowd. And I don't know what's going on with her. She does love 50 Cent and apparently being ignored by Ashanti.
Yeah, first of all, Ashanti did Adonis is creepy. He's a creepy man. I don't care what anyone says. I don't find him attractive. I find him to be cringy and creepy. And the fact that she entertains that BS is wild to me. That's crazy work. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm like, this is unnecessary.
I'm gonna need you both to clutch your pearls for a second because I'm about to say something really out of pocket. So there was a point in time in NXT where we were talking about how NXT was like high school, right? It felt very high school-esque. Well, apparently this version of NXT is Shawn Michaels during his Blacks on Blondes phase, because that's all I've been seeing on NXT recently. I know what his porn search history is. I know what Sean's into.
I'm sorry. I was not privy to that knowledge.
Oh, it's a website. You can look it up. Type it in your search bar. It's a thing.
I was talking about Shawn Michaels.
Oh. Well, he's the one booking the show. I'm just saying. Between Nikita, between Carmen, there's a theme here. And I think I'm starting to see what Sean is into in his search history.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, for the most part, Ashanti not as much, but Oma's not a bad looking man.
Oh, absolutely not. No. Oma's
I can't blame Fakita in this aspect if that's what she's rolling with. Ashanti, not my type, but Oma?
He's not attractive because he's cringy. The roses, the BS rhetoric, it just gives F-boy energy. It's gross.
Oh, yeah, he's a big fuckboy.
Just back up, bro. You walking around. You tell me there's a dude walking around handing out roses to people. Only a few of them are accepting. Most of them are okay.
NXT's The Bachelor now, Tiffany. It's The Bachelor.
Was there anything from NXT that wasn't good enough for Ritter that you guys want to touch on?
I spit everything Hank and Tank because why the fuck are they beating OTM? Because that should not be happening.
Absolutely not good enough for Ritter.
I have to agree with that. I didn't like that.
No.
I didn't like that. They could have picked another team to do that.
Exactly.
All right. Dynamite. Stone Cold Steve in Cincinnati threatens the little death for someone in AEW tonight before illegally riding in the bed of a pickup truck with Wheeler Yuta and Marina Strong.
I have no idea what's going on.
So John Moxley is Stone Cold Steve in Cincinnati.
Because he's from Ohio. I don't know necessarily Cincinnati, but
it's Cincinnati.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh. I just thought you were saying it because it was funnier.
Okay. Now I get it, because I was like,
yeah. Yes.
Who is this?
And then he hopped into the bed of a pickup truck with Wheeler Yuta and Marina Strong.
Utes.
He did what now?
He hopped in the bed of a pickup truck, and then Cesaro drove away. They were riding back there. No seatbelts, no nothing. Very illegal.
It was weird.
Oh, on some redneck-ish.
Yeah. Or some Cincinnati-ish.
I have no idea if that's how that works in Cincinnati.
Probably.
Because I'm too close, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Because I don't know.
All right. Hangman discussing his most recent assaults and attempted murder before he got attacked by the son of a gun. He dived over the barricade for no reason and gave Adam Page the advantage. The Bang Bang Gang does everything gangbang style, though, and Swiss cheese stays white and Juicy Juice run off Hangman.
Juicy Juice.
Diego Luna, an animal from the Monsters, as I call him. He's Animal from the Muppets. Like, I don't, like, that's who he is. It's literally what he looks like. I swallow everything Hangman and this craziness. Told you, that mustache is evil. He's burning down houses. He's attempting to hang people now. It's a whole new Hangman. And I'm okay with it.
Swerve deserved it. He definitely earned
Swerve
that.
deserved it.
Swerve deserved it. Burn the house to the ground.
He burned it to the ground. He deserved it.
Sat there in a chair with a scotch. It was crazy.
In the battle of potential, we see unrealized potential Shelton Benjamin defeat wasted potential Sammy Guevara.
He beat Sammy Guevara, really?
He did?
Yeah.
Huh.
This was Sammy's first match after he got stretchered out at an ROH taping a few weeks ago. I was at the show I was at. It was the 5-year show. I didn't see like what happened in the ring with Sammy. I saw him get stretchered out, but I believe this was like his first match back since then. I just don't fuck with Sammy Guevara, but I love me some Shelton Benjamin. So it was a gurgle.
I said put the belt on Shelton. It is long.
Hell yeah.
Belt
Let's
Shelton.
go.
I've seen Shelton's matches since he's gone to AEW, and he looks great. I don't have any problem with it.
That man is a fucking vampire.
It's interesting they picked Sammy to be the one to put over Shelton. That was an interesting pick. But whatever makes you happy.
Mariah May apparently wants to wrestle a naked Anna Jay because she threw her gear out of the locker room, and I am all for it. So let's do that, because I was promised a celebration for Mariah May, and then she said she was bringing Marina, and I still haven't gotten that celebration, and everyone's got way too much clothes. Yes, Mina Shirakawa. What did I say? Marina?
Too many M's.
Mina, Mariah. Too many. Listen.
It's a lot of M's.
It's a lot of M's. But I'm so okay with Mariah and Anna. Like, Anna has been busting her ass for a long time, and when she went to Stardom, I think it was Stardom, when she went to Japan in general, like, she improved so much. So her coming back and then getting this opportunity with Mariah, I'm happy. They're not going to take the title off of Mariah, but it's going to be a good match out of it. So, like, I'm not going to complain about it.
All right. So, will the real Will Ospreay please stand up? Kyle Fletcher is mad that he copied Ospreay's whole flow, word for word, bar for bar, and people noticed. So then he decided he was going to shave his head and beat up Ospreay. This kind of feels like MGK versus Eminem, and Ospreay would be Eminem, and Fletcher would be MGK. So,
well, we know how that's going to end.
Yep.
Why
With a kill shot.
Whole head. Like he did.
He
like
didn't even shave his whole head. He shaved
no,
half of his head.
It's shaved now. He didn't shave it.
Not on my TV.
I just saw a clip of him doing like weather somewhere, and his head was fully shaved.
He was doing weather?
Apparently, I saw it on Twitter. He was doing weather somewhere. I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't book anything. I just saw it. I don't know. It's weird. I don't. There was no. He looked. I don't think he looked anything like Will Ospreay. That's just me. I don't think the head needed to be shaved poorly on TV.
Oh, it was poorly shaved.
It was a mediocre at best promo, and then he only shaved like half of his head, but in like he shaved down the middle and left the sides.
Yeah, and like he didn't even fully shave down the middle, and he was talking too long. I was like, can we wrap this up? And like I miss slutty crop top Kyle Fletcher. What happened to him? Now
I was also like, wrap this up, and as the host of Smackin It Raw, who clearly doesn't wrap it up, which is why I have another child on the way, like that's a thing.
Tiffany, I don't know why you're surprised.
Congratulations! I'm so happy for you. You have a new baby on the way. It's the way he says it. It's funny.
It's just nothing.
I see. I missed this because you used to laugh like this, Katie, and then you got used to it.
Yeah, and I've been here too long.
I thought maybe 2 weeks we'd get that spark back, but no, now I got Tiffany to laugh for me.
I got here and there. Okay. Rude.
Obligatory Ring of Honor champion spit. Because fuck Chris Jericho.
I'm so confused.
So are we.
So confused. I just want to understand why. Dr. Dornberg is just he exists. I just want him to go lay down somewhere.
Go tour with your band that doesn't sell out nearly a quarter of your shows. Like, go ahead.
Shady boots.
I can't stand Chris Jericho.
I mean, my problem, if they're gonna do a reset, which it looks like that's where they're working towards. Mm-hmm. Ring of Honor should also be reset too. You should be building up somebody new to take the title, not giving it. What is Jericho? Anybody who beats Jericho doesn't do anything for them.
It's a vortex. They get sucked in, and then they have to deal with Chris Jericho for an extended period of time, and then they don't. The biggest thing was Danny Garcia. I mean, granted, Danny's okay now, but like, he got stuck being with Jericho. We wanted him to be with Brian, and then all of that happening, and then nothing came about it. I mean, he's good now, but there was a time where we were just like, well, what are we doing here with Danny?
I don't like it.
I hate Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I haven't liked anything Chris Jericho's done for years.
He looks like he did
years.
Diet fast in the wrong way. I fucking love Just.
Now that we officially have found out that Adam Cole is single and healthy, his milkshake is bringing all the boys to the yard, including Buddy Murphy, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, Matt Taven, and Maria Kanellis' husband.
Mike
Kanellis. Honestly, like the rest of the IWC, I was far more interested in MJF's masseuse than whatever the fuck he was saying while getting massage. But he said some stuff, and he made a challenge, and everyone wants to fight Adam Cole now that he's back.
Which I'm okay with. Well, Buddy wants to do it because he wants to, like... Buddy challenged him because he said Adam Cole was fragile. Which is rude. Like,
Fair.
that man shattered his
sorry.
ankle. He shouldn't have jumped. He shouldn't have jumped off the stage. That is just a given fact. But that's why... yes, I can. Different conversation. But I am 100% interested in the idea of Buddy and Adam. I don't give a fuck about MJF anymore. Like, he's lost it for me. I don't care. The masseuse, everyone found her Instagram already, so like they're crazy. So now again, MJF with his stupid hoops. Who can get to 3 wins faster? Roddy or Adam, and then they get to fight MJF. Which, why the fuck, guys? Why do we have to be?
Why
stupid?
is MJF the prize in this scenario?
MJF sucks. I'm over
What
it.
do you get if you beat him? I'm curious because I wouldn't be. I mean, I can understand why Cole has the issue with MJF.
And Strong, because MJF took Roddy's best friend for a little bit.
Okay, fair.
Yep.
Okay, so both of them have a fair point to want to fight him. So that would make them a legitimate reason for them to make him the prize. But then my question is, once you beat him, where do you go after that?
Chili runs the guys who jump in crowds.
Adam Cole did not jump in a crowd. Phil did. There's a difference. Adam Cole jumped off a stage.
I mean, theoretically, he didn't jump in a crowd. He did get tossed into a crowd by Keith Lelo.
Oh,
No.
I did forget that happened. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he didn't jump. He got pounced.
He got pounced into a crowd. Last but not least from AEW, Camille versus Queen Aminata, because why the fuck not? I love when the wrestling is as good as the aesthetics in the ring. Camille gets the win, and then Chris Statlander comes down. They go nipple to nipple. Mercedes tries to hit it from the back, but Stat no-sells. She can't handle 2 girls at one time, though, and ends up on her back.
I love Chris Statlander.
When does she become the good guy again? Like, she just did that whole thing with Willow.
After the thing with Willow.
I mean, that was an interesting choice.
I mean, she's not with Stokely anymore, and you needed like another like face to be in that part of the division with like Mercedes and Camille, because like they're not really doing anything right now. Willow was a concussion. I learned a few like yesterday from CMLL, so she's gonna be out for a little bit. Which good, stay home, figure that out. So you needed someone, and Stat, like you said, nipple to nipple with Camille, like height for height, power for power. That's what you need. Throw a Nyla Rose up in there for fun.
Yeah, I mean, when's the
I'm
last
never
time
gonna complain.
Nyla Rose has been on TV?
A few weeks ago.
With an actual match or a feud or just regular?
It was a fatal
Just a one-off
four-way
match?
or something. It was
Yeah.
a 4.
Well, in my opinion, Statlander was a heel, which the last time I saw her, she was still with Stokely. She didn't have to stay with Stokely to be a heel. She can still be a heel. Furthermore, I'm a big proponent of letting people do heel versus heel. I don't understand why they had to turn her to go up against Mercedes and Camille. She still could have been a heel going up against her.
Yeah, bad guys do not like each other.
I think it just became the thing where like the crowd likes her too much, so they weren't gonna boo her.
To me, the crowd's gonna do what they do. You know, when you're watching wrestling, they're gonna cheer for whoever they want. And Roman comes out there. He was a heel at one point, still got cheered. Still was the guy everybody loved, everybody cheered him. So as far as I'm concerned, if you still want a Statlander to still have that edge that she worked so hard to gain, let her still have it and go up against Mercedes and Camille. Let her go bar for bar.
Yeah.
You didn't have to turn.
I
her face
personally,
to do that.
I would have rather seen Willow out there than Stat, but that's me.
Well,
she's like the female hero of AEW. So
yeah, I fucking love Willow, and I'll be happy with either of them on my screen.
I love Stat.
Like I said, now that Willow's out, like I feel like Stat's a good replace. I don't know, like if Willow was ever gonna be in that position, but if she was, I feel like Stat is a perfect person to put in said position.
Or Riho and her pipe.
I don't know where Rio and the pipe you going. Like
she comes up, she runs down, she uses her pipe, she runs away.
Like She could beat Stone Cold Steve in Cincinnati. I'm just
I
saying.
need Riho piping bitches. That's all I'm saying. Speaking of Stone Cold Steve in Cincinnati and piping bitches, I didn't have it in my notes, but apparently we're setting up Orange Cassidy to be the hero of AEW and avenge
Yes.
whatever the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Is that something that you? I'm reserving my judgment, so I left it off. It was not good enough for Ritter until I figure out what the fuck's actually going on. Because they had Chuck Taylor out there, and you know how I feel about Chucky T. I don't fuck with Chucky T.
They only had Chuck Taylor out there to be the catalyst to get Orange Cassidy to where he needs to be.
I wish it was Trent, but I know it can't be.
Well, it can't be Trent because he has like bolt in his neck. He's doing his best.
Also, he turned on everyone.
And he literally turned on everybody. So, like having Chuck Taylor being the one to get the chair to the neck and stomped on, and Cassidy just being like a second too late, and then Cassidy getting in Danny's face because he didn't want to do any of this, and then Cassidy said he's going to take care of it on Wednesday. I don't know, but they basically have to build like the young new baby Avengers to take on the Blackpool Combat Club. That's literally what has to happen, and is what kind of happening. So I don't know what will happen next.
So the end game for this would be for what? For Cassidy to take the title?
Possibly.
So I mean, I'd be very interested in that story just because I feel like what we're basically getting is, even though he hasn't really been the Orange Cassidy that he was when we started and he's got away from that, is they're basically being like, listen, you have all of the talent and ability in you to go out here and do this shit. You just need to start doing it. And we've slowly seen him go from being the guy with the hands in his pockets and almost too cool to wrestle to actually putting on matches to now
showing
maybe
emotion.
Finally being a viable contender for the title once he really puts in the work. Because my assessment of Orange Cassidy was when he first got there, and the reason I liked him was he's such a good wrestler that he doesn't have to try. And it takes a really good wrestler to make him actually have to try. And then we kind of got away from that and he just kept wrestling and he was doing the title in the backpack and working every week. And we got away from that a little bit. Now it's Dragon Ball Z untapped potential. Like there's still let Kami touch you. There's still some more we can pull out of you. You got places to go and people to beat.
Let who touch who? The fuck?
It's a Dragon Ball Z thing.
It is.
It is. I need an adult. That's all I'm gonna say. Anything from AEW? Not good enough for Ritter? Katie?
The only thing I had, just because I like kind of the idea of where it's going, is always the idea of Penelope Ford and Jamie Hayter like being a feud. Especially because everything that Penelope has gone through, and now like she's actually like back and actually like wrestling again, and Jamie Hayter, because Jamie Hayter, again, one of your biggest stars at the point in the company, and then got hurt, had all this time off, came back, dealt with Noodle Neck and Harley Cameron, and now you need her to do something. So I feel like Penelope and Jamie are at like this point together where they can put on a really good match and have like a really good feud. I think just like not with a title involved for the women, which they rarely do.
Fair.
In AEW. So I'm okay with the idea, and I'll see what happens. You know?
I actually did get to see her match on Collision with Robin Renegade, and I really liked that match.
I did too.
I really did. So I'm happy for Penelope. I haven't seen her in a while because I did start watching AEW when it first came around. So I was glad to know that she was able to come back and she looked really good. Her match with Robin was awesome. I watched it with my husband. It was great. And I was like, oh, Penelope's back. That's cool. I did see Jamie Hayter make the challenge. They're supposed to have the match next week on Dynamite. So I might watch it. I haven't watched Dynamite in a while. So that might be the only reason why I watched Dynamite.
There you go.
All right, SmackDown. Randy calls out Papa H for coddling KO, but Triple H is like, nah, bro, it's actually you that I'm coddling. Like, I don't think you have what it takes to fight KO because KO's fucking crazy. The three most dangerous letters in WWE are not as dangerous as everyone's favorite Canadian prick. Randy doesn't want to suckle at Paul Levesque's titty. He wants to punt KO like he's Ike from South Park, so Triple H makes the match. Randy also saves his BFF Cody from getting DP'd by Gunther and Kaiser, even though Cody's the one that threw the first punch.
Mm-hmm.
I will say swallow to both of those segments. I liked the back and forth between Triple H and Randy. It was nostalgic for me. I do think that this is a different KO, and Randy's gonna be the first installment to. There needs to be a new villain. Is the point I'm trying to make. There needs to be a new major villain, and Kevin looks to be the one that they're building up to be that guy. So Randy's gonna have to be the first sacrifice in that villain arc. So that's gonna be interesting to see how far Kevin's gonna go, because he's gonna have to go further than we've ever seen before in order for anybody to really believe what Triple H is saying and what he is making us. He's alluding to in those videos we're seeing and everything like that. As far as Cody and Gunther is concerned, I like the back and forth between the two of them. It was nice to finally see some passion from Cody. I love Cody to death, but sometimes his all-American rhetoric,
Homeland.
it gives very much G.I. Joe speech every single time. And I love him to death. I do. But sometimes you're just like, God, can't you just call him a B and just get over with it? And that's why I was so glad when he just was like, F all this talking and just punched him in the face. I was like, man, let's do this. Like, you're standing there and you're letting Gunther run you into the ground. Like, stop letting this man do that. He does that to everybody he goes up against. He's such a prick. Stop letting him do that. Just punch him in the face.
He finally sacked up.
Right.
I'm never gonna turn down like interactions between Triple H and Randy Orton, because again, Tiffany said it, it's nostalgia. Like, he brought up Triple H breaking into his house. Like, we remember that shit happening. The meme that came out of him just busting down the door. Come on, hysterical. I can agree with, like, they need to show Kevin, like, this needs to be debuting NXT Kevin Owens again, as in brutalizing your best friend, beating him within an inch of his life to win a title, like that Kevin Owens. If you're gonna
talk Randy's back again. Randy just got back from a bad
actually do that though.
Not literally, not in real life.
Kayfabe wise.
Like, please be careful with his spine.
But also powerbomb him on the fucking apron.
I mean, that's gonna happen.
Oh, that's 100% gonna happen. I'm not gonna be happy about it, but it's gonna happen. Yeah. Cody just needs to learn how to talk and fight and just have to deal with multiple people beating him up at once. He's not always going to have a Randall Keith Orton to save him.
Not after KO breaks his back.
Stop.
Speaking of which, LA Knight can't keep his hands to himself. Ruins the best of 7. And now he has a Devil's 3-way match at Crown Jewel against Carmelo and Andrade.
What a fucking prick. I was so looking forward to that best of 7, and he ruined it.
This was Nick's fault.
This is 100% Nick's fault, but it's also LA Knight's fault because he can't keep his emotions in check.
I mean, LA Knight is the kind of dude where all the attention has to be on him.
LA should have minded his own business.
He's just like, when it's not, he does something to make sure it's on him. This was Nick's fault. He should have known better. He should have known better. You could have just had the match and let them fight it out. LA could have then came out and attacked them still, and you still could have had the triple threat at Crown Jewel. You didn't have to do this. This was unnecessary.
He became a Karen.
Now he became a Karen.
He did. He 100% did.
We got girl on girl with Naomi taking on Candice LeRae after Nia used Candice to make Tiffany jealous.
That was interesting.
I'm not mad at Candice LeRae
Naomi
being
got the
utilized. Like, especially for everything Candice has done for wrestling in general. I'm okay with Candice getting TV time and getting shit done. And Naomi's fucking incredible. So, like, who's going to be mad at Naomi wrestling? Nia using Candice to, like, be... It's weird. I don't understand this dynamic. I'm sick of all of this. Just have Tiffany cash in somewhere, please, for the love of God.
I'm going to be honest, and I'll say I want Nia to lose it to somebody clean.
Fair.
I want her to lose it to somebody clean. I want Tiffany Stratton to cash in on Liv Morgan.
I also said that at one point in time.
I want her to cash in on Liv.
Main event after this.
I want her to cash in on Liv. I want her to take Liv out. But if I can't get that, that's cool. However, I've been saying this for a while. I think once Charlotte comes back, she's taking that title off of Nia. Clean.
Oh, so you think Nia's gonna hold it for as long as it takes for Charlotte to come back?
Oh yeah, yeah, because she's been running around. She's the queen of she's the queen of the ring for now. But there was a queen before her, and I don't know. You know, predecessors don't like to get their crowns taken from them. And if it was me, I'd be like, I'm going to get my shit back. Just me, personally.
You remember who else got their crown stolen? Xavier Woods. I'm just saying, he quite literally had a crown stolen and stomped on in the ring.
Fair enough. It was the bloodline who did it. Like it wasn't like he won King of the Ring and then took Roman's spot. That's not how that happened. Like Roman,
I'm just saying
being a douche.
That was Roman doing Roman things.
As far as Candice and Naomi is concerned, I was happy about the match. I'm happy for Candice. I like Candice. I've always liked Candice. I think once Candice, when they really take the training wheels off of her, I really, really want to see Candice do what I know she can do. Like, I really want to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Reek, I love you. You're my boy. You can also go fuck yourself. This is my show. This is not the space for that. We're not there yet.
We didn't even get to talk about that yet.
Before we get there, DIY cannot top Motor City Machine Guns. Solo tries to sneak one by Motor City Machine Guns and have them blow their title shot load tonight. But Nick's like, nah, those are my guys, and you can't do that. And Motor City Machine Guns are like, listen, it took us 75 years to get to WWE. If we got to have a title match, we got to have a title match. They take on God. Like the good Christian boy that he is, Roman says there's only room for one true God in this tribe, and that's him. He runs Solo and Jacob off with help from Jimmy. Then Jay says it's an eye for an eye and a belt for two belts as he costs God the tag team titles. Jimothy and Jameis hug it out while Roman watches lustfully, and we find out off air the ones go up and the bloodline is back together.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't off air. That was the recording for fucking next week.
I think that it probably was, which was kind of low key messed up. That we all seen it.
Yeah, I was like,
he wasn't wearing white when he came to SmackDown last week.
No, yeah, it was definitely because they're going to be in Saudi already, so they had to film back-to-back.
That's true.
Episodes. Yeah, and everyone just
spoiler alert.
Posting spoilers everywhere, and I was like, God damn it, people!
Like we didn't even get the chance to just watch it.
We didn't get a chance, and Twitter said, "Here you go." It's like, fuck you guys.
So did Jay run back and change real quick and then come back out?
Like, I mean, it was probably
or he just like
know.
stripped.
I wasn't there. I don't fucking know. I mean, the crowd probably would have been okay with it. Like,
who knows at this point?
Come on,
I liked the segment. I liked it. It was cool.
I like Motor City being champions.
And I love that. I'm very happy for Motor City Machine Guns.
Hell yeah.
I'm very happy for them. Alex Shelley got a lot of sons out here. A lot. Okay. So for him to be able to go now to one of the biggest stages in WWE and Chris Sabin, they're there. And they're probably going to reset this tag team division, which thank God for that. Because, geez, that's all I'm worried about is making sure that, one, they get time, they get to be able to have their feuds and wrestle on TV. That's all I care about. Because I have watched the Motor City Machine Guns since TNA days. So I'm very, very happy for them.
Oh, yeah.
Anything from SmackDown not good enough for Ritter?
I think you literally covered the entire show.
No.
Beautiful. So let's do what we're here to do so we can get out of here. Smash or pass NXT Halloween Havoc. Kicking off the show, as Wreak Havoc alluded to in the comments, Tony D'Angelo, the Don, my fellow Italian from Chicago, and the family defeat Obafemi in what they called tables, ladders, or scares. However, I feel like if you don't hang the belt above the ring, then it's just a no DQ match. We're going to talk about that later, too. It took the entire family to put down Oba, and he whooped most of their asses, but we got the win. The family walks away, and Oba still looks strong because he beat the fuck out of 3 white dudes, 3 Italian mobsters, on his own. So
I'm
smash or pass.
It's a smash because I get it. People can be upset that the title was taken off of Oba. I 100% understand. I at one point and still kind of am an Oba feminist. I understand. But Tony D'Angelo and the family, of course, always. That just means Oba's going to move to the next evolution in his cycle, which is the NXT Championship. And I love Trick Willy Wonka. We'll get there. But obviously, Trick and Oba is going to have to happen at some point. So why are people... I get why people are upset, but, why are you upset? Because now Oba just gets to move up even further and be the ruler. And it was a fun match. Crowbars.
Oba versus Trick is going to slap.
I think it will. Unless they decide to pull him up completely, which Triple H has been known to do.
Yeah.
That is also make everyone, except for maybe Katie, if you want to make everyone happy, pull Oba up and immediately just have him smash Braun Breaker and take the title off Braun.
Yes!
I'm mad at that.
I would love that.
I can bark or I can do the whoo, on beat. I can do both.
I would love that because right now Braun Breaker is not I'm not a fan at the moment. I love that match though. I like Tony, so I was glad that he won. I wanted him to win. When he initially won the title, I wanted him to win. It was time for Tony to move into a different space. Oba's gonna get an opportunity to go on to bigger and better things. Can't stay in the mid card forever. And I would rather him move on than to be stuck in the mid card.
See, Tiffany gets it, guys. Why does no one else?
One William Regal offers to be Lexis King's corner man in the ongoing tradition of terrible fathers as Lexis takes on William's son. To be determined. We don't know. He might fuck over Lexis inside with this kid, but in WWE, there is a slew of terrible fathers, and it looks like William is next up on that list.
I don't know. I don't think he's a terrible dad. I don't.
You're going to help Lexis King beat your son? I feel like that's, that's not a
he
good
knows
dad.
Baby Regal's a piece of shit. He knows.
Because of the mustache?
Because of the mustache.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so it seems or it appears that Lexis is leaving his slimy ways behind.
Hopefully the beard too, because sweet Jesus.
He hasn't, because he seemed to Beijing it before he had came on camera today. So I guess. But I mean, I'm okay with it. I remember a while back, Charlie and William had a little interaction, and Charlie was not very receptive to his father. So it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at it. It's going to be interesting.
No, it's because Baby Regal's a piece of shit and doesn't respect his dad. He did everything for you.
Was Ray a bad dad, or was Dom a piece of shit who didn't respect his dad?
Two things can be right at the same time, and I believe it was both. It was both, because I don't know. At first, I was like, Dom's an asshole. But then, and like, you got like two pseudo sons you collected that both turned on you. It's like, at some point, you're a problem. Like, at some point, you gotta look in the mirror.
How many people have turned on Rey Mysterio? The answer is all of them.
But now he's got Dragon Ball Lee, so he's got his third pseudo son.
And his
pseudo daughter. Dragon Lee. Yeah, he might lose Dragon Lee after they lose this match, though.
They both wear masks, so you know. It's the thing. Chicago's own Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez from Texas take on Julia and Stephanie Vakir. I couldn't tell what was better, the match or the aesthetics. I loved both. It was four very beautiful women putting on a very beautiful match. I am mesmerized by what Stephanie Vakir can do in the ring. She is absolutely amazing. And Zarya showed up and hung out on the balcony to be like, hi, there for a little bit. We see her again later, a little more important, but she just made herself known that she was here in the building as promised. Tag team title match, Julia and Stephanie go over Cora and Roxanne.
It's a smash. Who the fuck would pass this? Like, this was, again, the women's division in NXT has been topped 100% the match of the night. The NXT women's division has been like top tier for quite a bit of time, but like people aren't ready for that conversation. But now you have this group of women, specifically like Stephanie and Julia and Zarya popping in now, like these bigger names integrating into a women's roster that is already really good. And then just this really great tag match. And God, that fucking finish by Stephanie was so beautiful. It was so seamless and flawless. Like, how did she even do that? Because my God.
I love that match. That was my favorite match of the night. I love that match. I thought that all four women did exceptionally well. Mm-hmm. I give Cora a lot of flack, but Cora did very, very well for having been gone as long as she has. She was able to keep up. She got her moment to shine in that match too. I like all four of them for different reasons, but basically they did an exceptional job. They told the story in the ring like it was supposed to be told. The match didn't have no boring moments. It flowed correctly. It was just a really solid match. It was the best match on the card for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I talk about aesthetics. Obviously, Stephanie did the Dia de los Muertos. I'm not sure what Julia's ring gear was. Were Cora and Roxanne Dorothy?
Yes.
I think they were the two girls from The Shining.
Maybe. I don't know. It looked very Dorothy-esque, like with the picnic.
It did remind me of Dorothy, but I thought
Will also said she was from The Shining.
Yeah, I
like
they
that
were the two
much
girls
better.
from The Shining.
I mean, that makes more sense because I was like, why the fuck are they both Dorothy? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Because Twisters.
Twisters. We're talking about Twisters? God.
No.
What a good movie.
I'd rather talk about that than this next match, though. Ridge Holland, after starting fights with Bully Ray all night, defeats Andre Chase in an ambulance match. Ridge had a mask on. No idea what the fuck it was from, but Andre had a Freddy sweater that said Chase U on it. So, like, that was cool.
He had some custom shoes on. Were they New Balances or something?
I did not even look at his shoes.
I always look at his shoes because he always wears some type of. He's a
dad shoe.
Sneakerhead. Yeah, no, he's a sneakerhead. Like, he always has on some type of Jordans or something obscure. So I had to look because I wanted to see what he had on.
That's fair. Well, I didn't see the picture on Twitter. So.
I did not either. Otherwise, I would have said it. But thank you. Yeah, whatever. Ridge beat Andre. This is
because what the fuck was this? This was stupid.
I didn't like that Andre lost.
Oh, there you go, Tiffany. I
don't know what the fuck that says, but yeah, that.
Oh, okay. I know.
See, I don't chew, So
Yeah.
Babes.
Oh.
They were babes. That's
Okay.
fine. I couldn't tell what they were. They looked like New Balances to me. So I was like, I wonder what those are. But they were Freddy Krueger-esque sneakers.
which
Just so
makes
you know.
sense. I love that.
I didn't like that Andre Chase lost. I find that Andre Chase always is the sacrificial lamb in every feud that he gets in. Except for a few. And
Yeah.
So is
this
Chase
one,
U done now? Do they have to shut down? Is that the deal?
honestly, I don't know. Which
I
is
thought Duke
why
was going to come out.
I thought he was gonna come out and help. Or at least all
Or-
of them. Seeing as
Thea?
how
Where the fuck was
they were
Thea?
all I have no idea. None of them.
I have expected Thea to show up and turn on Andre.
Don't do that.
I expected her to attack Ridge because she hasn't done it yet, and she should have done it a long time ago. That's what I expected. She should have showed up and just hit him in the back with a chair as many times as she could have. And then Andre could have recovered and got him into the ambulance. The only time they've ever won is when Chase U was under attack by the family when Tony and them was trying to take it, I believe.
The family.
I think that was the only time that they ever actually won and kept Chase U. This time I don't know, which is the weird part. I have no idea what's going on, and that's kind of why I didn't like the finish of this.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And then the Billy Ray
next-
thing that kind of made it obvious.
Mm-hmm.
That made it a little
Oh,
obvious.
very obvious. ECW Arena, Bully Ray, Philly.
Red. Yeah.
Stop coming over here. We're gonna have a problem. Yeah, no, we knew where that was coming. So Fatal Attraction, as I mentioned earlier, run a train on Poison Ivy Kalani for the North American Women's Title. First up is the Queen of Heartbreak, Jasmine Nix, and she's also the first to get finished. Next is JC Jane, who I personally don't believe dressed up, and you know why?
Because JC Jane is a fake ass bitch.
I saw you queuing that up from miles away.
She gets folded like origami for a pin, but cheap shots Kalani before it's reverse cowgirl Fallon Henley. It's her turn, and with a lot of help, she completely misses the kick, but gets the win and the title. Then Zarya shows up and says she wants to try the train and completely derails it and destroys all three women effortlessly.
I
I
said
hated this match for Kaylani. I hate it.
Kalani, I mean, has done a good job being the first champion. I'm intrigued to see like how long Fallon will hold it, especially with Zarya right there. And I even said it last week, like when Zarya showed up, it was after that tag match and after like Kalani appeared and like showed up and tried to help everyone. Like having Stephanie and Julia in the main event, having Zarya in like, the mid part of the title, having all three of you like heavy hitters.
Your mic's
Your
off,
audio
Tiffany.
is a little wonky.
Oh, is it?
Now you're better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not have
I
all
didn't
three
hear.
heavy hitters. Stephanie and Julia in the main event. Zarya in the mid card.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like splitting it up makes sense. Don't put all three in that main event picture. Like have one of them be used in the main, like the mid card picture to help elevate that division a little bit.
And if Zarya is going to come in and smash everybody, I'd rather have her smash Fallon than have her smash Kalani. And I don't want Brock Lesnar or Kofi Kingston 2.0. So
See?
That's fair. But that I didn't like the way it was set up. So like Kaylani never had a shot in this match going into it. She didn't know who she was going up against. Then they pick it as a gauntlet match, which is nuts. I ain't mad at them per se, because it's smart. I would have probably would have accepted it better if Fallon would have went up against Kaylani and then she cheated to win and that was it. But it was just like you just stacked it on to her and it just made it. I just didn't like it. It left a sour taste in my mouth. I was okay with Zarya coming in. I'm like, okay, that gave me a little bit, a little bit better. I don't think Fallon's going to keep that thing long. A month at best. If I'm being honest, when is Iron Survivor Challenge? Like December? I would say probably around that time. If she keep it that long. I don't think she's keeping it long at all. So Fallon's most definitely is a transitional champion. I just wish Kaylani would have got a better send-off in that North American title than what she got.
I see that. I also see it took 3 women to take down Kalani, even after she beat 2 of them. It took all 3 of them in the main event to take her down, so that keeps her looking strong.
It's true.
So
I agree.
We'll see where she goes from there. Like you said, Iron Survivor's coming up. Like the idea of Stephanie, Julia, Zarya, all in the Iron Survivor that match is going to be insane. Like the men don't even have a fucking chance at that point. Like might as well not even do a men's Iron Survivor.
No, we don't need
bother. And my prediction is Obafemi wins the Iron Survivor this year. So there's that.
I don't think he is going to win it. I think Wesley is going to win it.
Okay. Listen, after he turned on the Rascals, I have been Team Wesley because I don't fuck with Pete Wentz. So
stop.
So Trick Willy Wonka, as everyone so clearly pointed out, versus Ethan Page in a Devil's Playground match that didn't have the fucking playground. Ethan drops his nuts on the mat for Trick, but ends up bumping on them himself. Then he kicks Trick in his willy after making him bleed his own blood. Trick answers back with his own shot to the nuts and a trick shot for the win. After the match, Ridge jumps Trick, and then they double penetrate Trick before Bubba makes the save.
Few things. One, of course, he was going to be Tricky Willy Wonka. They were in fucking Hershey, PA.
Fair.
It only makes sense.
Yeah.
2, this was the correct decision. Fuck Ethan Page. I don't want him. I don't want this back and forth bullshit.
I agree.
3, fuck Ridge Holland.
Agreed.
And 4, fuck Bubba Ray Dudley, because why the fuck is he here? Don't you got like a TV show or a radio show to fucking do, bitch? Why are you here?
It's very interesting that they had Busted Open Radio at NXT. Obviously, this was all done for going to NXT 2300. That was obvious. But I was just like, Busted Open Radio. Really?
We could have like anybody else.
Well, so here's the thing. We're going to the arena, right? We already know Bubba's going to be there. We know Dawn Marie's going to be there. Rob Van Dam will more than likely show up. Fingers crossed for motherfucking Paul Heyman. Haven't seen him in a minute. Bring him back.
Where's the wise man?
Where's the wise man? So I'm looking forward to it just for that in and of itself.
I mean, it's a tag team match. I kind of saw this coming once Ridge started talking to him. I figured they would do a one-on-one match with them, which I feel like could have been a one-off thing and been done with it. But now it's a tag team match, which I know they're going to allude to it being a tag team match.
Yeah.
I mean, Trick and Bubba are going to win. So whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to... I
just don't like Bubba. Can Devon show up? I like Devon way better.
Ooh, if Devon shows up, that would be awesome. I hope he brings back.
I mean, Devon was in Trick's video, so this kind of does make sense. Like, he has a relationship with the Dudley Boys. We could have Devon out ringside as Reverend Devon, cheering them on, managing the team of Bubba. Yeah, we can do something.
Bubba mysteriously gets hurt before the match, so Devon can step in.
Wow.
Please.
Here's where things are going to get weird, guys. So, I love Halloween Havoc. It is one of my favorite pay-per-views. It has been one of my favorite TV specials. I am passing on Halloween Havoc for a few specific reasons. One, there was no host for Halloween Havoc. Yeah, we had Gigi Dolan do the intro, but where was my Scarlett? Where was my Shotzi? Where was my Gigi? Where was my host for Halloween Havoc? Nowhere to be seen. Not happy about that. there was a severe lack of Halloween and Havoc in my Halloween Havoc. We had a couple costumes, but not like what we've seen in the past. The set was cool. It was what it was. Also, again, Tables, Ladders, and Scares was basically the exact same match as the Devil's Playground match to open and close the show. They were just street fights. They were not the Devil's Playground match like we got with Cora and Roxanne and Kiana. And it's not a TLC match if the belt's not above the ring. It is then just an ODQ match with ladders ringside. So even though I am really happy Tony won, I loved the women's tag team match of the night for sure. Happy that Trick won. Overall, I'm passing NXT Halloween Havoc because you took away all the things I love about Halloween Havoc for the most part.
I liked Halloween Havoc. I know it didn't give you the aesthetic of Halloween like it usually does. And that part I agree with you. I did miss the host. I thought Gigi at the beginning would be the host for it.
I did too.
So I was kind of disappointed, you know. Damn, great value candy.
What's wrong with great value candy?
Good Lord. But I like the show overall. I think as storylines were set, new ones were created. They did what they were supposed to as a PLE goes. But I do agree that the aesthetic didn't give Halloween Havoc like we're used to. And I was underwhelmed with the Devil's Playground match as well. I felt like I don't need a lot of props, but I do need something to make it be a Devil's Playground. You do.
There was the swing up by the stage that you could have gone and thrown the skeletons off of and used, and I would have been like, okay, cool.
They didn't use any of it. They didn't use the ambulance. They didn't go back. Like there was some parts where it was a little brutal, but I expected more from it, and we didn't get that. Something tells me that something shifted. So somebody changed something because the way they amped it up in NXT the few nights before, I thought it was going to be more brutal than what it was.
Me too.
We didn't get that, so.
Katie, Halloween Havoc, smash or pass?
I'm still gonna smash the fucking pay-per-view. Tony D'Angelo and the family, Trick Willy Wonka, fantastic women's tag team matches, Kalani putting in the work, Zarya. And yeah, it wasn't the spooky Halloween vibe that we normally get, but that's okay. It was
Don't
still
get me wrong,
good.
they gave me a lot of good shit. They just didn't give me what the fuck I wanted. So,
Well, you can't always get what you want, Matt.
And then they get passed.
I'm just stating fact.
I mean, it's the plight of being a wrestling fan, but he does have the right to pass if he's not getting.
He does have the right to pass.
Served. So I'm fine with it. I'm okay with a good PLE. Even though it didn't live up to all the expectations, they did put on a solid.
I had fun.
Couple of hours. Yeah, especially the girls. I really like how Shawn Michaels gives the girls the chance to shine, and he relies on them heavily to do so. That's the part that I really like because Triple H used to do that in NXT, but he's gotten away from it, and I want him to restore the balance that he used to have that he hasn't gone back to yet. I really want him to do that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is it for the show. Tiffany, thank you as always for joining us. You were lovely. Spanish Rachel is definitely going in the description for the show. I know Katie wrote it down. Tell everyone where they can find you, Down for the Count, your TikTok, all the stuff that you do, where they can enjoy more from you.
Jesus, I have a lot. So, but you can find me on TikTok for sure. I'm sure that's where a lot of people have seen most of my content. You're probably not going to see a lot of my face on TikTok, but you'll hear my voice on there somewhere. If you're consuming things, if you're consuming wrestling content on TikTok, I've probably come across her for you at some point. So you can just look for Psych Design TV 2. I think it's Psych Design 2 on TikTok for me. I'm also on Instagram, Psych Design TV 2 on Instagram. My YouTube channel is up as well. There's a membership for that. I used to stream on Twitch, but Twitch is it's not my thing. So I don't stream on Twitch as regularly as I should. But you guys can find me everywhere. So you can always come over and join the live streams. I go live 3 times a week, sometimes 4 if there's a PLE on a Saturday or a Sunday. And I try very hard to make sure I keep up with the content. So I post the content everywhere. I'm also on Twitter occasionally. Twitter's a cesspool, so I try not to go on Twitter too often. But you guys can find me everywhere. So if you want to join the fam, you definitely can. Just keep it light and keep it cute, and I won't cuss you out.
It's Psych Design 2 TOO over there on TikTok. So go check her out there. Like I said, great content, hilarious. She's a blast to watch on TikTok. One of the highlights is I'm scrolling through my friend's page. Katie, you do things. What things do you do?
I do things. I do shows. Sheelite Showcase specifically. Twitch.tv/Sheelite Showcase and YouTube.com/Sheelite Showcase. This Thursday is our spooky showcase. So Savannah and I are dressing up as Adam Copeland, and I will be Father Christian from AEW. Very excited. It's gonna be fun. And then right after that, we're doing a show for Getting Off. So I get to do basically back to back. I have a few hours. I get to do 2 podcasts on Halloween. So why are you making faces at what I say?
Because you're gonna be Father Christian. It's funny.
I'm gonna be Christian.
Is there not some sort of psychological?
No. I have a black turtleneck. That is the only reason we're doing this.
Okay,
and it's sleeveless.
Of all the things that we know about you that we talked about on this,
with the whole beard and everything.
Probably not. I might just like slick my hair back. I have like a clipboard somewhere I can use. I got a chain I can throw on. Nothing too crazy.
I forgot to mention Down for the Count has a podcast as well. You guys can watch Down for the Count on Spotify. We're also on Apple Podcasts, and we're on YouTube. I usually stream everything that I stream on my main channel to Down for the Count, and I also post the podcast on the YouTube as well. Same name. You can find us across all the socials.
We have had all the girls from Down for the Count on. Most recently, we had Alexis over on Horror Movie Trivia, and now Tiffany again. We're going to have to get everyone back together as soon as possible for a show. It'll be fun. You can follow me at Matt Ridders, ZMATTRIDDER, on Twitter for your wrestling content, at Getting Off for your horror content. As Katie said, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. We are doing a Halloween special for our horror movie podcast, so come check that out while I tell Katie how I felt about Long Legs. Also, everything Creation World that we've talked about, but also everything me, including a bunch of videos that I post of my daughter on TikTok. You can find at Smackin It Raw, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky. For Tiffany and Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe, I am the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and this has been your #1 wrestling podcast, formerly on Pornhub.
Formally.